I'd like to share a little devotional with you. In honor of the big hurricane gator game that's taking place as I speak. As I was watching Facebook Live, I noticed and saw that Tim Tebow was there, of course. I think he does the announcing for the Gators, and as everybody knows, he was a Gator quarterback back in the day. And I thought, you know what? He's a great example of an analogy that I want to share with you. A little devotional that I wrote many years ago, but back then I used Dwight Howard as the analogy. But this time I'm going to use Tim because everybody, of course, knows Tim Tebow and he is more current today than Dwight. But think about this for a moment and just imagine this scene for a moment. Imagine that I go and I find out where Tim Tebow lives and I go to his house and I knock on the door. And somebody answers the door and they're like, "Can we help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here to see Tim. I want to see Tim." And they're like, "Yeah, no, you're not coming in." And I'm like, "But I know Tim. I want to see him. Tim Tebow, he lives here. I know he does." And they're like, "Yeah, you're not coming in, lady." I'm like, "But I know Tim." And they're like, "Okay, how do you know Tim? What do you know about him?" I said, "Look, I know all his stats. I know how many touchdowns he threw. I know how long he played for the Gators. I know that he went to Denver. I know that he's playing baseball right now. I know that he even got recently engaged. That's awesome. I know that he has a foundation. I know that he records a lot of videos. And I know that he loves Jesus." See, I know Tim. I know all his stats about this guy. So, can I come in? Can I see him? And they're like, "Yeah, no. And I'm like, but why not?" And they said, "Well, while you know all that stuff, you don't really know him." "What do you mean I don't really know him? I just gave you all this information. I know him." And he's like, "Okay, so let's do a test then. What is his favorite color?" "Oh, well, that's easy. Orange and blue." And the guy is like, "No, actually, it's not." "Oh. He said, "What's his mom's name?" "Oh, well, that, Linda, no. Jane? No. Becky? No. You don't know his mom's name." I'm like, "Well, I mean, I'm sure if you told me," I go, "Oh, yeah, that's it." And he goes, "I'm not telling you his mom's name. If you don't know his mom's name, I'm not telling you." He said, "What does he like to eat for breakfast?" "That's easy. Steak and eggs. Hello, he's a football player, and now he's playing baseball." He's like, No. "Really?" He goes, "One more, lady. I'm giving you one more chance. What's his favorite snack food?" "Really? Like, you asked me what his favorite snack food is? That could change at any time. My favorite snack food 20 years ago was Doritos and Mountain Dew. That's not it anymore. I actually like crackers with peanut butter." He's like, "You don't know his favorite snack food, do you?" And I'm like, "No. But I know all his stats." And he goes, "Yeah, bye-bye." And I have to leave because I don't actually know Tim Tebow. See, it's one thing to know all of his stats and everything that he's done and all the things that he is a part of in the public eye. But I don't know him personally, and it makes a huge difference. Well, it's the same way with Jesus. If we do not know Jesus Christ personally, it's going to make a big difference when it comes time to meet him. So the Bible talks about in Matthew 7, verse 21 through 23, Jesus says, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, 'Lord, did we not prophesy in your name? And in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles?' Then I will tell them plainly, 'I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers.'" See, it's one thing to know all the stats about Jesus. It's one thing to know Bible verses. It's one thing to go to Bible studies and another thing to go to church. And we can do all these things. But if we don't know Jesus and live in relationship with him, we're going to run into a problem. Jesus says so in his word. Yeah, you might have done all those things, but I never knew you. It's something to think about. Next time you see Tim Tebow on TV or on Instagram or in the paper or whatever, super, super nice guy. Think about, you know what? I really don't know Tim Tebow. Do I know Jesus more? Am I living in relationship with him? Well, you take care now as you think about that. Bye-bye.